Yeah, good morning all. I see very less people today due to any other reason. Yeah, Saksham, Sujasa, Pavan, Masters, Sunil. Yeah, good afternoon, good morning. Yeah, Akshat, Vikas. Right, let's begin the C programming. I'm good, I'm good. I hope I should ask you. So, how are you all? I know there might be pressure, but don't show to anyone. Yes, Aksham, good. Acharyan, okay, I'll just check after the class. But remind me if I don't reply. No. Do not go much into what practice. इस समय में क्या है आपको रिवीजन और कॉन्सेप्ट पर फोकस करना है. एवरीथिंग दैट यू हैव प्रैक्टिस्ड, इज इट remembered or not? है ना? We don't waste the time to practice the questions. Of course, one or two few questions you can do it. Yeah, Mit, good afternoon. Okay, let's look at the C programming. हमको क्या करना है? ये ना important topics, C tokens or operators and expressions, control statements, arrays and pointers, then functions and recursion, storage classes, structures and unions, scope. टॉपिक्स बहुत लेस है और वेटेज बहुत ज़्यादा है. आपको पता है 7 to 8 मार्क्स सी प्रोग्राम से आता है. वो मोस्टली स्टोरेज क्लासेस, स्ट्रक्चर्स, फंक्शन, ये नहीं है, फंक्शंस, रिकर्शंस, अरेस एंड पॉइंटर्स, इधर ही मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस होगा आपको. राइट, अंकित, गुड आफ्टरनून. बस एग्जाम में ये नहीं पूछेंगे व्हाट इज सी टोकन, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए व्हाट काइंड ऑफ टोकन्स दैट वी शुड लर्न. या विशाल, तो सबसे पहले हम फोकस करेंगे सी टोकन्स. बट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स कहाँ है? वेयर डू यू फोकस इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स? आपको एरेस एंड पॉइंटर्स पे फोकस रखना है. इसमें लूप्स में कंट्रोल स्टेटमेंट्स और ये तीनों टॉपिक्स. और इसमें स्टोरेज क्लास में मेनली स्टैटिक वेरिएबल्स को रखना है. ये 4 टॉपिक्स आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. बाकी टॉपिक्स कभी कभी पूछेंगे, कभी कभी नहीं पूछेंगे. तो ये 4 टॉपिक्स से आपको मैक्सिमम 6 to 7 मार्क्स मिल सकता है. गॉट इट? या अंकित उपाध्याय, गुड आफ्टरनून. अभी रेडी? तो शुरू कर लेते सी टोकन से. बिफोर दैट एनीथिंग, because I see a lot of people are doing some other jobs in the daytime. And if anybody not studied C programming, you can attempt the questions of C programming. So, but what are the C tokens that you have? Idea? Like you have keywords. How many keywords you will have? 32. Great. I hope you know what are the keywords that you have, like int, float, char, double, and for storage classes you have the static, register, extern, auto, and for qualifiers you have short, long, such things. And struct, union. Likewise, you have lot, const, volatile, and then operators. This is where you need to focus a lot. There will be 1 to 2 marks on operators, so you should focus. That's why we have another topic, operators and expressions. You have arithmetic, relational, logical, what else? Bitwise, increment or decrement, conditional, assignment, a unary, special list of operators. Any other you just consider special. Right. And all these operators, in exam you should know the precedence order, because this precedence relation between the operators will give you an idea how to evaluate expressions. Okay, and mostly arithmetic, what are their relational, logical, weight-wise, increment, decrement, and conditional, assignment, unary, special operators like you have the structure member operator and array slice operator and comma. Any other operators which are not covered here, assume special. And what else you have? Identifier. In C, identifiers have the rule, correct? The first letter can be underscore or any letter, correct? Alphabet letter, followed by just looks like underscore or letter or digit. You can use this any number of times, that depends on a compiler what length you can write for identifier. If you know the TOC, you should write an expression for the identifier. Maybe in an exam they may ask which of the following is a pattern for identifiers. And you should know identifiers can be used for various names like variable name, function name, right? Tags, constant names, you use for many places. There are special constants we have in C language. What are they? Like integer constant. Integer constants you can use for decimal, hexadecimal, what else? Octal. There are various types of integer constants, and real constants can be used for float and double in C language. And character constants you can use single quote, and string constants are very special, which ends with a null string. Correct? I hope you remember all of them. In integer you have what? Decimal, octal, hexadecimal. In real you have a float type 4 bytes and double 8 bytes. Character you will use in single quote, and string you will use in double quote. Anything else that you have not seen here, you can assume special tokens. Got it? याद रख लीजिए, special में you can have the parentheses, open or closed brackets, at semicolon, and any other which you have punctuations. When it comes to operators and expressions, that's the most important for you, correct? Operators and expressions. You should know how to deal with this operators and expressions. Example, if anybody asks you what is the answer for 3 and 5, what is it? Second, if they ask, let's say 3 and 5, what is it? 3 less than 5, what is it? 4. 3 left shift 5, what is it? 5. 3 right shift by 1. Remaining always a plus, multiplication, addition, subtraction, you know. What will be the answer for this kind of operators? You can easily answer quickly, no? 3 you can convert into a binary, let's say 0 1 1, and 5 you can convert into binary. So 3 and 5, when you do the AND operation, so when both are 1 1, any of them is 0, the result is 0, so which is equal to 1, correct? The result will be equal to 1. And when it is a logical operator true and true, you will get a true, which is also 1. But remember, this 3 and 5 you got as a binary operation. But this a logical operator which is considered as true and true, non-zero and non-true, or non-zero, right? Both are true. 3 less than 5 is true or false? True. So this will also give a 1. But reason is different. correct? Everywhere you might be getting 1 but not the same explanation. And 3 अगर उनको left shift by 5 times किया है, this is equal to 3 multiply with 2 power 5. 2 power 5 is 32, so 3 into 32 should be 96. And 3 अगर right shift किया है तो एक bit shift होगा, like 1 1 you have. If you right shift, then you will get a 0 here, and sorry, you will get a 1 at the last, and this side you will get a 0, and remaining all are zeros, you know it. So this 1 will shift to the right, so the result will be 1. Okay, and if you are able to understand the operators individually, then you can go for expressions how to evaluate, correct? Suppose we got expression two plus 5 and 3 minus 3 and left shift are less than 1. If you have this, and they may ask what is the value of x after executing, can you tell me the answer? So first, which operator is having highest precedence among this, plus and minus, and both are very far, so you can evaluate any order. So 2 plus 5 is 7, 3 minus 3 is 0. After that, you have two things, logical and you also have a less than. So less than has more precedence. What do? 0 less than 1 is a true or false? True, so you will get a 1. And 7 is a true, and 1 is also true. True and true is true, so we'll get overall it is a 1. The x value is 1. Yeah. So this is how it's also one of the gate type. You can see 3 to 4 questions only based on this kind of evaluation, right? So C tokens, operators and expressions, you know how to do it. Now we'll go for control statements. How many control statements are there? Like if you look at control statements, have if statement, if else, nested statements, nested if or if else, switch, while, do while, for loop, go to, break, continue, return is also control statement, even exit function is also control statement. So all these statements are going to control your flow of the execution, correct? And I hope you know the syntax of each one. That's a very important syntax, learning the syntax of each statement. What is if else, nested if, switch, while, do while. And some of them will practice how you do it. Examples. Like if you have if 2 greater than 3, printf, gate, and here printf exam. So what it prints? Two greater than 3, printf gate, else printf exam. Nested if 2 greater than 3, 2 less than 3, just for understanding this flow. That's it. While let's say x is equal to 3, while x greater than 0, printf a and do x is equal to x minus 1. So x is equal to 3, do So all of them are very easy to do it. Just for understanding what the flow of the program. What is the output here? 2 greater than 3 is a false, but it will enter only when it is true, but it is a false, so it will go out. This printf is not belongs to if, so exam will print here, correct? And here 2 greater than 3 is false, so it will go to else, it will also print exam. And 2 less than 3 is true, so it will enter 1 less than 2 is true, so it will print gate. And here x is equal to 3, 3 is greater than 0, it will go inside, a will print first, and x will decrement to 2, 2 is greater than 0, so it will go 3 greater than 0 first, it will print, then 2 greater than 0, it will print one more a, and after that again decrements, 1 greater than 0 is true, it will print a, after that 0 greater than 0 is false, so it will stop entering inside. And now x is equal to 3, a will print first, and x will become 2, 2 greater than 0 first it will check. True, so it will enter again, it will print a. The all decrements 1 greater than 0, again it enters, prints a. Now decrement 0 greater than 0 is going to be false, so it will come out. Here also it will print triple a. And this one, x is equal to 3, 3 greater than 0, it prints a. 2 greater than 0 prints a. 1 greater than 0 prints a. After that 0 greater than 0 fails, so it will not print. Yeah, they are very easy to do the revision. Only thing is this flow you have to understand how this loops works, and nested loops, nested statements one within another. And you may face difficulty when you see different answer questions, like you have seen the for printf gate printf percentile s a printf exam. Here just take char is equal to gate. Here a of 0 is equal to null character printf rank. They may ask what is the output. Just I make one question in front of you, just how you can uh, play with the for loop using printf. So what is the output? First it enters the gate, this for loop, this statement. First it enters here. Before that, A is assigned gate, and what it prints? Gate. Written something but no use. Comes here, percentile S, A. A means what? Again gate. Print it. I will enter the A of 0. What is A here? A is array where already gate is there. Now, after executing this one, now what happens? G become the null character that place, and now it will print rank after this. Then after executing this, it will go here, it will print exam. Then when it goes here, this printf returns 0 here, right? Earlier it was returning, when it was printing gate, it was returning actually first time 4, that was a true. But now it will return 0, 0 is false because it's printing nothing on the screen. So at this time it will come out. So the output is gate rank exam. Correct? Yeah. Great. Most of you are able to do it. So such things you can understand. Wait, somebody came, looks like. Okay, wait for a second, I'll be back. Sorry, it was just wind. Now, what about the switch statement? What will be the output? Now the switch has the value 3, so directly the control transfers to the case 3. So now answer is, first it will print C, it will go down, no break, will go down, and then it will exit. Correct? So C, D, E, that is the output. Yes. It is about control statements. And now there might be questions like, what is the difference between break, continue, return, exit? What is this break used for? It is used either in switch to come out of the case statement, or it can be used in loops like for loop, while loop, do while to come out of the loop immediately. Right? If you are writing nested loops, and the break will only help you to come out of the loop where you have written that break. Okay, it will not come out of all the loops, it will only come out of the loop where you have written that. And what is continue? Continue will skip the remaining statements of the loop, it will continue that loop again. correct? It is only used in loop, just to skip the remaining statement of current iteration only. But next iteration will happen. And return, it transfers the control to the calling function. जिससे इस फंक्शन को कॉल किया है उस फंक्शन पे कंट्रोल वापस जाएगा, बट प्रोग्राम को टर्मिनेट नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज ऑफ रिटर्न. ओनली द मेन फंक्शन रिटर्न may terminate the program, but this exit will not transfer the control to the calling. It will stop whole program. It terminates the complete program wherever you write. Are you aware of all these control statements? You may use anywhere, but break and continue you should use in loop, and break you may use in switch, but this return and exit you can use anywhere to transfer the control to the calling function or to terminate the program. That's about control statements what we have covered so far. And arrays and pointers, right? In arrays, how many types of arrays we learn? 1D array, 2D array, 3D array, and remaining are there, but these are the main types of arrays that you should learn. Okay, in 1D what do you learn? You will learn, let's say if you have the integer, assume this is a 4 bytes, then you have, let's say, a of unread declaration. You want to calculate address of a of, let's say, 23. How do you do it? We'll just take address of a of 0 plus, okay, first I'll put a question mark. How do you calculate it? Address of a of 0 you take and plus, and before 23 there are 23 elements, so 0 to 22, total 23 elements you have. Multiply with size of each element. That's integer. Directly can I write 4 here? That's for 1D. What about 2D? If you have a declaration int a of 100, somebody want to find address of a of ij, then you should take address of the first element plus I multiply with, before this I there are 0 to I minus 1 rows, each row has 100 elements, plus, and before this j, 0 to j minus 1 elements are there in the same row, and multiply with the size of integer, that is 4. Okay, that 4 you can replace with size of element as per the requirement. Correct or not? If you go for 3D, now 3D I am just going to take in general. Int a of, I have 7, 8, 9. Now somebody want address of a of I, j, k. Assume that I, j, k is limited by this index. So if you really want, instead of 7, 8, 9, you can also take PQR. That PQR are constants. Don't take like that PQR while writing the program, but assume they are constants. Now how do you write address of a of 0, 0, 0 plus? Now if you are looking at index I, that means table I. Before the table I, how many tables are there? You are looking at the table I. let's say this is a table I. Before you have 0 to I minus 1 tables before this. So if you want to refer table I, before how many total I tables are there? I tables. So I is doesn't mean that this I, the meaning is 0 to I minus 1 tables are there. And each table has, what is the size? Q and R. The each table size is what? Each table size is QR. Q multiply with R. Plus, in this table you are referring, let's say J, because you have the J row. Before that, how many rows are there? 0 to J minus 1 rows. That is total how many rows? J rows. If you want to refer the jth row, the row J, then there are total J rows before that row J, and that J multiply with each row has what is the size? R size. Each row has size R. So J multiply with R, and you are referring, let's say, particular element K in that row. Then here to here you have how many? 0 to K minus 1 elements. And total how many elements? Total 0 to K minus 1 means K elements. This K is referred by number of elements before that K, and multiply with size of each element, that is integer. So this is how you refer the 3D. Got it? Yeah. एग्जाम पास है, पढ़ने का मन नहीं लगता, पढ़ना मत, ये तो है प्रॉब्लम. कौन बताया आपको पढ़ने का? पढ़ाई नहीं करना है, आपको रिवाइज करना है, नया नहीं सीखना है, बट जो ऑलरेडी पता है दिमाग को उनको रिवाइज करना है. गॉट इट? अगर वो आप फॉलो नहीं कर रहा है, देन दिस 2 days it looks like something which is not useful. Everybody, जस्ट जो पता है उनको टिक करना है, अगर आप भूल जा रहे हैं उसको रिकॉल करना है. नया नया मत पढ़ना. अभी मैं तो कह रहा हूँ नया पढ़ेंगे तो कोई याद नहीं रहेगा टेंशन पर, बट जो ऑलरेडी पता है उसको टिक करो. अगर कोई भी दिक्कत है उसको सही से पढ़ लेना, बट नया चीज अभी टच करना जरूरत नहीं. ये सब कुछ पता है ना, अगर अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है एग्जाम में कैसे याद आएगा? एग्जाम तक कोई मैजिक होगा तो वंडर होगा, एग्जाम में नहीं होता है ना. तो अभी याद आना चाहिए. अगर अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है, मे बी यू कैन इग्नोर और मे बी यू कैन ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. फॉर्मूला रट लिया, पता नहीं क्यू आर कौन है तो भूल गए तो दिक्कत होता है. करेक्ट? क्यू आर तो डिक्लेरेशन में होता है, आई आप जो एक्सेस कर रहा है उसकी में होता है, जे जो आप एक्सेस कर रहा है उसमें होता, आर जो है जो डिक्लेरेशन में होता है. ये रिलेशनशिप पता होना चाहिए आपको. That's about arrays. Correct? In arrays also you have lot of different declarations. Suppose int a is equal to 1 2 3, or you can declare int a of 3 is equal to 1 2 3, or you may declare int a of 10 is equal to 1 2 3. What is the main difference? Here compiler automatically calculates, so it will keep 1 2 3 0 1 2 index. Here already given, so it's both are same. Correct? Both are exactly same, but what is the difference here? The size is 10 elements, 0 to 9 only, but what you have assigned is 1 2 3, remaining all will become 0. They will be forced to be 0. Correct? Now I should take an effort, right? That's not how many I hit 2. Alright, I'm taking the burden to deliver the C programming, So this is how you do it, right? Similarly, you can go for 2D. How do you do? Int, let's say if I do a of 2 3, then you may write 2 into 3 total 6 elements, right? So 10 20 30, 40, 50, 60. So automatically calculated that 6 elements to the 2 rows, each row will have 3 elements. What is another way that you can declare? There are 2 rows, each row has 3 elements, so you can mention the first row has 3 elements, the second row has 3 elements, correct? That's another way to do. And sometimes what you can do, int a, you don't need to mention the rows, you just mention the number of elements in each row, automatically this will be calculated. Yes or no? Because you mentioned each row has how many elements? 3 elements. So 3 it will collect, so automatically it does. There are 2 rows. But don't ignore the number of elements, then you will not understand. If you ignore this, then it will not understand how many rows it should create. This is how all you declare in arrays. And when it comes to pointers, there are various pointers that you have, correct? What is the beauty of these pointers? They're all pointers or not? There's one special pointer which is, it's not a pointer, it's a pointers, array of pointers. You should know what is each one dealing with. All of them except this one, all of them are pointers. Any pointer that you look at in the world will have the same size, correct? Because pointer stores an address, each pointer will have the same memory size because it stores address. So here to here everybody is a pointer, correct? From here to here they are pointers. But this is array, not a pointer, because B is going to be an array. And when you look at a P stores an address, Q also stores an address, R also stores an address, A also stores an address, F also stores an address. But B is not going to store the one address, it's going to store many addresses. How many? That means you are dealing with 5 pointers now. Array of pointers, exactly. It's array where everyone is dealing with a pointer to an integer. So such declarations indirectly have 5 pointers. 1 pointer, 2nd pointer, 3rd pointer, 4th pointer, 5th pointer. Got it, everyone? So very interesting. These are the only few things that you should know. And this can be extended to any level. Like people may ask int star C. That means pointer to pointer to pointer to an integer. 3 times you need to dereference. And this one, even people may extend like int star D of 5. That means here you have address of address. There's at that address you have an address of integer. Right? Total indirectly 3 stars we have. 1 star, 2nd star, 3rd star. This just looks like 3D. But whenever you are accessing anybody, you will write star D of, let's say, 2. What it means? D of 2 of 0 of 0. Remember, the 1 star will look like 1 index, you are referring 0. So whenever you do such reference, then you should remember you are actually dealing with 3D kind of notation. Star means it will give you, this star will give you 1 of 0, another star will give you other, right? So first you will do like this, then you will do like this. So remember this, it's just like 3D, but it looks like you have 2 tables, and in each table you have only 1 row, in each row you will have only 1 element. So that kind of notation is created from here. Okay. It's not just what you are looking at, it can be extended to any level using many dereferences. Got it? So if anybody asks what is the size of P, assume that address size is 6 bytes. Assume that. Only assumption. Then what is the size of P? What is the size of Q? What is the size of R? What is the size of A? Size of F? And what is size of B? Go ahead. All are storing addresses, so definitely they are all equal, which are all 6 bytes only. But this one, each one is 6 bytes because everywhere you store the address, 6 5s are 30. In exam, they may ask the sizes, so you should aware. And there's no one dealing with data directly, all are dealing with addresses only. This is how you deal with what? Arrays and pointers, correct? And just have a clarity in declaration, that's it. Remaining, we will do it at any cost. How much time left? Okay, 15 minutes. Let's go for function and recursion. And in exam, they may ask something like this: int f of int comma float, int star g of int star. That's it. They may ask char star h int star comma int or float, let's say. They may ask function signature meaning. Right, a few of them I'm just explaining. What is the meaning of f here? F is what? A function, correct? F is a function that takes how many arguments? 2 arguments. And what type they are? Integer. One is integer, other is float type. And returns integer value. So you should know the 3 points what you are dealing with. And second one, when you look at G is also a function. But that takes integer address because int star is there. That takes address of integer, or you can say integer address. That takes integer address and return again integer address, and also returns address of integer, or I'm just writing integer address or integer pointer. This pointer refers address here. And what is h here? H is not a pointer. H is a pointer. H is not a normal pointer. H is not a function. H is pointer to a function because this deals function. Pointer to a function where you should explain about the function. H is a pointer to function where function takes 2 arguments, where one argument is integer address, other is a float, and that should return character value. So H is a pointer to function, and what function does, you should know about it. Correct. In function, they may ask signatures, all these things. But you know, recursions are very interesting. And you know, if they ask any kind of recursive function, you should be in a position to deal with it, right? If n greater than 0 or n equal to 0, return 1, else return n plus f of n minus 1. Then they may ask, what is if I call f of 4, then what it returns, correct? then you should know how to evaluate it. You can use a tree method or you can evaluate it properly. So how do you evaluate? You can start with f of 4, and f of 4, what it does, it depends on the f of n plus f of 3, and f of 3, what it does, n plus f of 2. Till 0 it's keep on calling n plus f of 1, and f of 1 is, oh, did I miss something? The instead of n, what do you write? We write the value better. F of 4 calls 4 plus f of 3, and 3 plus f of 2, 2 plus f of 1, and then 1 plus f of 0. When you call f of 0, n is equal to 0, that it returns 1. What it returns? 1. So 1 plus 1, 2, it goes 2 here, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 4, 11. So this f of 4 will return 11. Yeah. So by practice you can evaluate all the recursive kind of nature. But you know, in the recursive functions, they can use static variables, they can use auto variables, and mainly you should know static and auto variables difference. Right. Yeah. And what happens when you are, you know, if the function never terminates or never returns, what happens? Anyone? Note, in exam they may ask infinite recursion. If recursion is infinite, recursive calls infinite. If recursive calls are infinite, then what happens? If there are infinite recursive calls, then stack overflow happens, because computer cannot support infinite memory. Infinite loop may not happen anything. The computer may support, but infinite recursion, every recursive call, what happens? One activation record will create, and it's keep on creating activation records in the memory. At certain point of time, the stack will be overflow. Adarsh. Now fork you can understand, why is not in here. Okay, really want it, please. I'll explain static variable if you require, but not fork. If I go anything wrong, it's not good. Okay. Now storage classes, you know, in storage classes, how many are there? Auto, register, static, extern. And these two are almost same, except the memory. Except here memory is, okay, I'll write the individually. Here memory is happens on stack, but here memory happens on register, or if registers are not enough, it may go for the stack. But remaining all will be same, like default value, both are unknown, garbage, here also garbage. Right, scope means the visibility, कहाँ तक ये available होगा, आप use कर सकते हैं, कहाँ तक scope के अंदर, the block के अंदर use, ये तो limited to the block. ब्लॉक से बाहर गया ये नहीं दिखेगा आपको. You cannot use the same variable outside the block. And लाइफ टाइम जो है सिस्टम के अंदर कब तक ये मेमोरी एग्जिस्ट है इनकी वेरिएबल का, तो वो भी ब्लॉक है. ब्लॉक से बाहर गया वो मेमोरी भी डिलीट होता है. करेक्ट. बट ये दोनों है बिल्कुल अलग नेचर है. ये दोनों ऑलमोस्ट सेम है एक्सेप्ट द मेमोरी, एवरीथिंग एल्स इज सेम. बट स्टैटिक में दो टाइप होता है, एक लोकल होता है, एक ग्लोबल होता है. स्टैटिक लोकल एंड स्टैटिक ग्लोबल. इनका मेमोरी जो है डेटा रीजन में होता है, डेटा रीजन, इनका भी डेटा रीजन है, एंड दोनों का बाय डिफॉल्ट वैल्यू होता है डिफॉल्ट वैल्यू, दोनों का सेम होता है, इनका भी 0 इनका भी 0। बट इनका स्कोप जो है, अगर लोकल वेरिएबल है वो ब्लॉक के ऊपर डिपेंड होता है, अगर ग्लोबल वेरिएबल है प्रोग्राम, दो टाइप की होता है स्कोप। स्टैटिक लोकल वेरिएबल है, स्टैटिक लोकल डिपेंड्स ऑन द ब्लॉक। अगर स्टैटिक ग्लोबल, स्टैटिक में ग्लोबल वेरिएबल ही होता है प्रोग्राम मेन फंक्शन के ऊपर, वो प्रोग्राम में कोई भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, उसी प्रोग्राम के अंदर यू कैन एक्सेस एनीवेयर। और लाइफ टाइम जो है ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन द प्रोग्राम, जैसे प्रोग्राम बिगिन हुआ तो इनका क्रिएशन होता है, और जैसे प्रोग्राम टर्मिनेट हुआ इनका डिलीशन होता है। प्रोग्राम के ऊपर डिपेंड होता है, स्कोप के ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं होता, राइट। ब्लॉक में एंट्री किया, ब्लॉक में एग्जिट किया, ब्लॉक से एग्जिट किया, उससे मतलब नहीं है इधर। प्रोग्राम डिसाइड्स व्हेन टू क्रिएट व्हेन टू डिस्ट्रॉय। प्रोग्राम जैसे स्टार्ट हुआ इनका दोनों का सेम होता है, क्रिएट होता है, और जैसे प्रोग्राम क्लोज हो गया टर्मिनेट हुआ तो दोनों डिलीट होता है। इनफैक्ट दोनों नहीं, रैम में प्राइम मेमोरी में जो भी हो एवरीथिंग विल वैनिश। और इनका स्कोप जो है एक्सटर्नल वेरिएबल्स का, जस्ट नॉट प्रोग्राम, इट्स ऑल द फाइल्स। तो इनका स्कोप जो होता है ऑल फाइल्स कैन सी इट, कैन एक्सेस इट। अगर यू आर डीलिंग विथ 5 फाइल्स, 5 प्रोग्राम्स, ऑल द 5 प्रोग्राम्स कैन सी देम, राइट। लाइफ टाइम टिल द प्रोग्राम टर्मिनेट्स। ठीक है, ये है आपके लिए स्टोरेज क्लासेस। External variables can be seen by not only that file, it can be seen by other files too, but you should declare as external variable, right? Structures and union, तो एग्जाम में बहुत इजी क्वेश्चंस होता है स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड यूनियंस में, और स्ट्रक्चर वैसे भी आपको बहुत यूज होता है डेटा स्ट्रक्चर में, राइट। स्ट्रक्ट, अगर आप एक नोड क्रिएट कर रहा होगा, लेट्स से SLL, सिंगल लिस्ट का नोड, तो आप क्या करोगे, इंट डेटा, और मैं सेल्फ रेफरेंस नहीं कर रहा हूं तो बेटर यूज सम अदर थिंग, लेट्स से स्टूडेंट नेम, नेम कैरेक्टर टाइप होता है, और इंट ID, समथिंग लाइक दैट। और इनका ये है सिर्फ डिक्लेरेशन, डिक्लेरेशन भी नहीं है, जस्ट यूजर टाइप क्रिएटेड, राइट। यूजर टाइप डिक्लेरेशन का होता है, इधर होता है स्ट्रक्ट स्टूडेंट s। अब डिक्लेरेशन का वेरिएबल क्रिएट हुआ, तो इसका पूरा मीनिंग मतलब आप लिखते हो ना, इंट x, इंट टाइप होता है, x वेरिएबल होता है, करेक्ट। अब क्या हुआ, ये पूरा एक टाइप इंट जैसे है, तो ये टाइप होता है बट यूजर डिफाइंड टाइप, ये वेरिएबल होता है, बट ये क्या होता है, सिर्फ इनका मीनिंग है व्हाट इज स्ट्रक्ट स्टूडेंट बिकॉज यूजर डिफाइंड टाइप। तो उस यूजर डिफाइंड टाइप के मीनिंग क्या है, ये इंट तो ऑलरेडी कंपाइलर सी लैंग्वेज में बिल्ट है, तो आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, बट यहां पर क्या है, आपकी टाइप है, तो आप बताया मेरा टाइप में 2 मेंबर्स है, और एक मेंबर कैरेक्टर एरे है, दूसरा मेंबर इंटीजर वेरिएबल है। इनको एक्सेस करना है तो हाउ डू यू डू, यू विल यूज s.name, इनको एक्सेस करना है s.id, ऐसे एक्सेस करोगे ना यूजिंग डॉट। डॉट क्या है, स्ट्रक्चर मेंबर ऑपरेटर, s रिफर्स स्ट्रक्चर एंड नेम रिफर्स उनके मेंबर, तो इसलिए आपको डॉट यूज करना होगा टू रेफर द मेंबर्स ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर एंड यूनियन। अब अगर कोई भी पूछा है सर व्हाट विल बी द साइज ऑफ दिस वन डिक्लेरेशन, साइज मेमोरी क्रिएटेड इन द सिस्टम इज 0 बाइट्स, कि इनके लिए मेमोरी क्रिएट नहीं होता, इनके लिए क्रिएट होता है, याद रखना s के लिए क्रिएट होता है, इनके लिए नहीं। तो अगर s के लिए क्रिएट हुआ कितना हो सकता, राइट, बाय इग्नोरिंग एक्स्ट्रा पैडिंग ऑल दिस थिंग्स। यहाँ पर 100 बाइट्स होगा, यहाँ पर 2 और 4 बाइट्स, अज्यूम इंटीजर इज 4 बाइट्स। तो अब क्या होगा, 4 प्लस 100, तो 400 बाइट्स क्रिएट होगा, सॉरी 104 बाइट्स क्रिएट होगा। करेक्ट। यहाँ पर एग्जाम में किस टाइप की क्वेश्चंस आएगा, जैसे सब्ट्रैक्ट स्टूडेंट s ऑफ 5, सॉरी s तो ऑलरेडी यूज किया तो विल यूज समथिंग एल्स, x ऑफ 5, और ये भी एज्यूम करना एड्रेस का साइज 6 बाइट्स मान लो, 6 या 8 जो भी हो, 6 मान लिया मैं। तो अब x का साइज कितने होगा, वन स्ट्रक्चर के लिए 105 104 एंड 5 स्ट्रक्चर्स के लिए, बिकॉज अरे ऑफ 5 स्ट्रक्चर्स, अभी x के अंदर 5 स्ट्रक्चर्स है, ईच स्ट्रक्चर 104 बाइट्स, तो 104 मल्टीप्लाई विथ 5, 520 बाइट्स। कभी कभी ऐसे भी होता है, स्ट्रैक्ट स्टूडेंट स्टार y, तो y तो पॉइंटर हो गया, पॉइंटर टू स्ट्रक्चर, कोई भी दुनिया में पॉइंटर होता है वो एड्रेस साइज के ऊपर डिपेंड होता है, 6 बाइट्स। तो इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन दिख सकता है आपको एग्जाम में। और स्ट्रक्ट तो समझ में आया, इट्स अ कलेक्शन ऑफ मेंबर्स ऑफ हेटेरोजेनियस टाइप्स, बट यूनियन भी सेम डेफिनेशन है, यू कैन यूज हेटेरोजेनियस बट मेमोरी क्रिएटेड फॉर देम इज डिफरेंट। तो अगर यही क्वेश्चन लिया है यूनियन के लिए, यूनियन स्टूडेंट char name of 100 और int id, मान लो उधर डिक्लेरेशन से अच्छा इधर ही डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं आप, राइट, अलॉन्ग विद द टाइप यू कैन ऑल्सो डिक्लेयर हियर। अब इसके लिए कितना मेमोरी लेगा, s लेट्स से स्टार y x ऑफ लेट्स से 5। अब मान लो इंटीजर साइज कितना है, 4 बाइट्स, एड्रेस साइज कितना है, 6 बाइट्स, assumption। अब इसके लिए कितना होगा, व्हाट इज द साइज, इसके लिए मैक्सिमम साइज ऑफ दिस 2 मेंबर्स, assuming any other additional memory which is required internally, ignore them। तो अब ये 100 बाइट्स है, ये 4 बाइट्स है, which is the larger 100, so it will take the maximum of the member sizes। so now union, it will occupy the memory for the maximum only, but when it is pointer type, pointer always is a fixed size, that is 6 bytes, with a structure or union or integer or float, whatever the pointer type. And this is array of 5 unions, each union is 100 bytes, then 5 unions will take 100 into 5 is a 500 bytes। Now, exam agar question aaya structure and union, so please do that। And I think almost time is over now। Finally, scope. The scope is 2 types, right? One is lexical scope, you can also call static scope, depends on structure. Other one is dynamic scope. So only you should remember that this lexical scope depends on whom, the syntax, depends on your program syntax. It will not run the program, before that only it will decide the scope. That's why before execution only the scope is decided. And dynamic scope means it depends on program execution environment. It will not depend on the structure, it will depend on program execution. Yeah. So I hope all the important points are covered. Right now we are not practicing it, but if you want to know visibility of the variables, then you should look at the structure. But if you want to know visibility of the variables, you should look at the function calls, correct? Calling sequence depends on calling sequence. If you are calling a lot of program, lot of function calls, then calling sequence will decide the variables visibility. Here, the syntax, the structure of the program will decide the variables visibility. Right. Thank you so much for joining today and in this session. And we have the compiler in the evening, and compiler is shifted to 8 p.m. and 5 p.m. I think we just will take. We have exchanged our class, so you can attend at 8 p.m. compiler and see you in compiler again. By the time you just take your time and don't panic in this situation. आपको पता है यार ये time ऐसे ही होता है. You have prepared very hard, तो इसलिए होता है. पर अगर बहुत ज़्यादा सोचा है तो you will very much. तो अगर आपको अच्छा परफॉर्म करना है ये 2 दिन सोचना, मतलब ज़्यादा सोचना मत, खाली टाइम मत देना ब्रेन को. either you go for sleep or you do something revision. राइट बहुत लोग बोलते हैं सर अभी कुछ नहीं करना है. अगर कुछ नहीं किया तो यही तो प्रॉब्लम होता है, दिमाग अननेसरी चीज सोचेगा. राइट मैं यही कहूंगा अगर आपको कुछ करना है यू गो फॉर स्लीप और यू गो फॉर रेस्ट व्हाटएवर, बट डोंट थिंक टू मच. अगर आपको लग रहा है यू आर थिंकिंग टू मच देन स्टार्ट डूइंग सम रिविजन. Prashant, you may do that, but better to go for revision. Everybody at this time don't go for the mock test, or because you have only 1 or 2 days time. That is very important for knowing what you have learned. Correct? Yeah. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Sorry, not tomorrow. See you in the evening. All questions easy. Okay, great.